Greetings and welcome to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. What's happening, folks?
Listen, Jay Ray, they say the best things in life are free, and that includes Q Points Podcast.
Yes.
Because you don't have to take a second mortgage out on your home to get tickets to come to our show. But check it out. We've got a lot to talk about on this episode of Q Points. We are the podcast dropping the needle on Black music history. And Jay Ray, so I was on, as I always do, I'm going through my social media feed. And the Jennifer Hudson Show posted their latest pre-show celebrity tunnel clip. If you're all familiar with the pre-show tunnel clip, is when whoever the celebrity guest is, they come walking down the hallway, and the showrunners and the what do they call them?
The production team,
team and whatnot, is they make up a song and they clap the person down the hall while they do a little jig down the hall. It's really cute. It's a signature social media post for the Jennifer Hudson Show, and it goes over really well with everybody. So, needless to say, I was super surprised when I saw today's feature was none other than Get It Sexy, Get It Sexy, Get It Sexy. Sexyy Red was coming down the hallway, and in true Sexyy Red fashion, she was being Sexyy Red. She had on what I like to refer to as daytime lingerie.
But outside the house, like not in the bedroom.
Right, exactly. She was wearing her best daytime lingerie look, coming down, and of course, in Sexyy Red fashion, she bent it over and, kind of cracked it a little bit, and they had to put a heart over it. So they censored it. So that means y'all know that it's a bit much for the Jennifer Hudson audience.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I was just like, when I saw that, I was like, this is what we doing now? This is where we at? Okay. So the question I have for y'all that are already in the chat and that are tuning in, because we have it's part of the larger topic that we have tonight.
Yes.
But, Jerry, is there anything... Do we need to start shaming people just a little bit? Or is there anything wrong with a little bit of shame? Just a little bit. I
don't. Yes. So it's just a general yes. I don't think it is we need to shame people, because I don't think... I'm going to speak for I, Johnny, or J. Ray, don't have the ability to just like shame somebody. Like, I don't feel like that's my place. I don't feel like you ain't my child. You ain't nobody that I can like.
You ain't none of my daddy.
You ain't none of my, you know what I'm saying? However, J. Ray, do have some shame about myself, and I'd be like, I am not going to go on national television in the middle of the day and do this kind of foolishness going down the thing. Now, this is not a respectability politics thing, y'all. Sir Daniel, you know me. I am so liberal. Baby, you like it, I love it. It is fine.
And we're not policing black women's bodies.
Not policing black women's body. Sexyy Red can do whatever she wants with her body. However, and there's a time and place for stuff. And on national TV, going down the Jennifer Hudson Soul Train line, when you got to put a heart over the thing.
Over the booty, yeah.
It just seems like it's a bit much. And I think Kyriakos and Mark are kind of echoing the thing that I think. I think I get why she's a thing. So Kyriakos, I do get why she's a thing. I just don't think it's for me. It's definitely not for me, but honestly, I don't think it should be for a lot of people.
She should come with a label.
She should literally walk around with a parental advisory label like over her body.
Over her body. Shout out to Shannon Perez Darby is in the IG chat. And it's so funny that she's in the chat because her along with her show partner, we had a
Tashmika,
discussion. Tashmika, we had a discussion about this, something similar to this,
Yeah.
earlier last year, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
And it's coming around again, where it's almost like, okay, I get it. I see where the ladies are going. I don't want to make this about hammering down the women that are in the game, that are doing their thing, because yes, we know they've been carrying we know that they've been carrying hip-hop on their backs. They've been selling out shows, all of that good stuff.
Yes.
I think J-Ray and I, just recall a time, as a matter of fact, 27 years ago in the month of February, 27 years ago, Vibe magazine February's issue was a double cover.
Yes. Yes.
And then this double cover featured the top hip hop artists, both male and female.
Yes.
And this is such an iconic cover because this cover featured Kim, Little Kim, Missy Elliott, Foxy Brown, Lauryn Hill. They had their own cover because they separated it by men and women.
Yep.
And it was such a dope idea. Of course, we had the Brat in the mix. You had Trina on the come up. You have Rod Digger on the come up. Mill. All of these different flavors of women in hip hop, and they were all coexisting. J-Ray.
Yes.
Now look at Kim. Kim is in full. That ain't daytime lingerie.
That's not daytime lingerie.
That's nighttime. Hardcore La Bella Mafia lingerie right there. That's Kim doing what Kim does and having a great time doing it, and we respect her for it.
Yes.
But there was a time where, Kim, Fox.
But look at Lauren, look at Missy, look at Kim, look at Foxy.
It coexisted together. Everybody had their own flavor, and was still selling records, winning multiple Grammys, and all kinds of awards. But now it's just like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing here? How did we get here?
How did we get how? Oh, you got to sing the song.
How did we? Okay. Before we get kicked off of IG and
because Deborah Cox will come on and be like, how they sounded so good singing my song, right?
Exactly.
So what I absolutely love about this moment is it's such a variety of styles, right? You know what I'm saying? Even when we look at the men, so you have LL, who by this point is a legitimate veteran. LL is 13 years into his career as part of this cover, right? So you got a LL, you have Busta Rhymes, you have Method Man, and you have Master P, who's fairly new on the national stage at this time. He had been around for a while, but nationally new. But let's go back to these women, to that point of there was a moment in time when Missy, Kim, Lauren, and Foxy could not only be on magazine covers together, they were all selling platinum albums at the exact same time.
Yep.
And were able to do these different flavors of what hip hop was, right? Now, everything is so one note, at least from a commercial. We're talking from a commercial standpoint, because we can already hear y'all there's a whole lot of rappers. There are a whole lot of women who are out here killing the game.
Yeah.
But commercially, we get one type of thing that is currently happening.
Right. And so here's the thing. I'm rubbing my crystal ball, and I'm making a prediction here. I'm having a vision Raven. That's so Raven. I'm starting to feel like there's going to be a bust.
There has to be.
Just like how the economy is about to bust, and they're warning that the housing, all of that stuff is about to bust. There's about to be a bust in what people are going to continue supporting, especially when it comes to female rap, because like we said earlier, female rap is pretty much carrying the game on their back right now. But I predicted that there's going to be a bust that people aren't going to be as likely to support, or things aren't going to be on the level as they were. And I could be wrong here. This is just me. But I'm starting to see, well, maybe there might be, people are getting desperate. Desperate times call for desperate measures. You even got the one young lady, what was her name?
Who?
She's in a commercial featuring covering Kaya's "My Neck, My Back," but it's for a Dove soap commercial. You know, the young lady that don't like children on the plane with her, that was going head up with T.I.'s grandchildren.
Oh, what's her name? Chica?
That's it. The one that wanted to fight
yeah.
T.I.'s grandchildren. Right. So now she's doing commercials singing a variation of "My Neck, My Back." Because it's hard out here. It's hard out here for her. Like, someone that presents like her and raps like her is not going to be climbing on the charts.
Yes.
So she's got to. So even in her own small way, she's kind of acquiescing to what the marketplace is calling for in her own way.
Yeah.
But now it's just getting, I don't know, I think it's kind of getting out of hand, and there might just be a blowback, and there might just be, it's not just going to be the men that aren't selling, like they're going to be declining sales in this whole rap game completely.
So I want to shout out Kipper, who is also in the chat, who said, as with music in general, it will hit the wall, right? So it's what happens every time. What gives me hope is that, listen, Rhapsody got her first Grammy this year.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And that woman has been churning out high quality albums for almost a decade at this point, if not a decade, right? High quality material. And it does give me some hope that, you know, folks like her. So it's not just her out there. We have Tierra Whack and some of these other, you know, folks that are out there, LaKaylee 47, all of these folks out there who are really making high quality hip hop, right? On the women's side, of course, we know Kendrick literally just reset what men in hip hop are required to do. Right? I'm sure all of the dudes are sitting there like shaking in their boots about,
now we gotta
I gotta rap. I gotta like write.
I gotta be deep and stuff. Oh man. Okay.
Oh man. Right. But for the women, I feel like that same sort of reset is, you know, on the way, where it's just going to be required for them to you know, pick up the pen again. Well, the fortunate thing about women is actually the women have kind of been like, all of these women have been rapping.
Yes, true.
It's just image-wise has been a whole other thing, but they've generally been like rapping. I think from an image perspective, that's where the bust is going to come, seeing the variety in how women can be presented to us from a commercial standpoint.
Right. And, you know, and speaking of the Grammys, we would be remiss if we did not bring up Doechii.
Love Doechii!
Who, like, really cleaned up at the Grammys on her first go-round and has really done something special with her career. And she, you know, she toes that line of, you know, of being sexy. You know, she had on Bikini Bottom during her Grammy performance. But she was up there rapping.
She raps.
I mean, she raps down, like, she spits. And so, is Doechii like the final frontier? Is she the last hope? It's like, but what if you can spit? Oh God forgive me for what I'm about to say. What if you spit like Doechii, but you look like Dank?
I think that's fine though, right? There's always there's other problems with Dank, but that's other problems with Dank though. So this is actually a really interesting point, Sir Daniel. I think, oh my God, I think we are also at the point in commercial hip hop where gimmicks are kind of like, some people think they need a gimmick, and I think folks look at size now as like a gimmick, you know what I'm saying, that they can play up. So I feel like if somebody was spitting like Doechii and looked like dank, there's an opportunity for them. There's a lane for them. I think, you know, who's our homegirl that was body positivity and she just lost a lot of weight? Lizzo.
Yeah.
Child, that's a shame. I couldn't remember that lady's name, honey.
It's been a minute. Lizzo.
It's been a while, and she's been through a lot. But I think Lizzo kind of opened up what's possible. However, I think here's what it is. The gimmicks have to stop, right? It's about letting the talent lead. And I think if there's anything we can take from this moment, taking from Doechii, right? Letting your talent lead you. Right? This is no, this is what I do. If you spit, you spit. This is what I do. No matter what you look like. So I think there would be room, but it's just like you got to lean into what you do.
For sure. And shout out to, I believe it's Infinite64 wants to join in the conversation. Please feel free to leave something in the chat.
Yep.
That's the quickest way to hop in and be heard on the show. But I think you're right, J. Ray. I think it's where the gimmicks have to stop and the talent has to lead. But here's the rub. We have everything now has become so media led where it's like we don't care about the music anymore. We care about your personal life. We care about, your baby father being on trial for shooting at someone. We care about your other baby daddy following you around at the during the Super Bowl because he's stalking you. We care about those.
This
things.
Happened? I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, that was an Offset Cardi B thing.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
sir.
But yeah, so those are the things that people are showing up for. People are showing up for the public meltdowns. People are showing up for, how much weight you lost. People are showing up for whether or not, your BBL is clockable or not. That's the stuff that I think we play a role in it as well.
We do.
We play a huge role in it as consumers, and no longer they're dictating to us what's hot. We're no longer dictating what the culture should represent. We're no longer dictating what's fly and what's hot. It's being served to us. It's being pushed down our throats, whether we know it or not.
Sir Daniel, this leads me to also wonder how important do you think it's going to be important for us to get back to like crews and groups? I feel like so much of the creativity gets stifled because these artists are in their own bubbles. You know what I mean? Like they don't have like a crew. They don't have a crew that they're trying to compete against to rap against. It's just them. You know what I mean? And the people who work with them, but a lot of times it's not just like other MCs that you just kind of work with. I feel like that creativity, that push, that drive to do something really does sometimes happen in community. And I'm wondering if we've gotten so far away from that. For a lot of reasons. I think, money-wise, it's just easier to be a solo act because you get to keep it all, right? Yeah. And big corporations don't want to pay all them people. Right? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to have to worry about the hassle of it all. But I am wondering if that creativity means that we also need to be spending more time together as people in rooms, like doing stuff.
It's quite possible. It's very possible. I mean, you mentioned this in a prior episode about the same thing, about people being separated, about crews being separated, and community at the very beginning, at the very nexus of this art form of hip hop was the thing. People were joining together in community centers, rec centers, battles, all of those things. Those things were happening. But it's like, again, when the corporations came in, they split people up because they realized that there is money to be made in separation. There's money to be made through contention, through battling. Even though battling has been around, but a friendly sport.
It's a sport, like Kendrick talked about. He was like, "I'm into it for the sport."
It's for the sport of things. So, okay. So this is a perfect place to segue into a break and come back, because speaking of Kendrick, I think there's a lot of people who don't understand what was going on with the whole Kendrick Drake thing, and so therefore they can't understand the halftime performance, and so there's a lot of people speaking on things that they don't know about, and that's grinding my gears.
That ain't their place.
Right, that's grinding my gears at this point. So we are going to wrap up this conversation about the ladies, and hopefully the ladies will continue to deliver quality and as well as variety in the nearby future. But J. Ray, when we come back, we got a couple things to talk about. We're going to talk about halftime performances. It's the 37th anniversary of one of Spike Lee's most famous movies.
Yes.
And we also going to just touch on the ticket situation. Giddy up for the Cowboy Carter show.
Yes.
Anyway, this is Q Points Podcast. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
J. Ray, y'all.
And we are dropping the needle on Black music history, and we will continue to do so on the other side of this break, so you don't go nowhere. You stay right where you are. We'll be right back after this.
Yes.
So, J. Ray, we've recently had a string of bad weather, and you know who I kept thinking about? Especially on the snow days, I kept thinking about parents. I can't imagine being a parent and having to come up with things like to occupy your children's time, but at the same time, they're missing school, so you want it to be a productive time as well. Luckily for all our parents out there, we have a great friend by the name of Penny. I'm talking about What's Poppin' Penny, the fantastic children's show, and it is now available on YouTube, J. Ray. Their first animated episode is coming out this spring of 2025.
That's right, DJ Sir Daniel. So it is the goal to have 1,000 subscribers on the What's Poppin' Penny YouTube page. So parents, caregivers, teachers, trusted adults, if you can hear the sound of our voices, go on over to YouTube and subscribe to What's Poppin' Penny so that your brownstone buddies can check out the animated version of the show when it is released this spring.
It doesn't matter, even if you're already subscribed and listening to the show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, you gotta go over to YouTube and hit that subscription button. Subscribe.
Peace. Welcome back to Q Points, the podcast dropping the needle on Black music history. My name is J. Ray, and that is my brother DJ Sir Daniel. We're going to do some shout outs real quick, Sir Daniel. So over on TikTok, shout out to my girl Angie. My girl Angie from Detroit is tuning in over there.
What up, though? Adam
actually is over there from Detroit too, talking about what up, though. So Detroit is on TikTok, checking us out.
Building.
You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all, and shout out to everyone who is joining us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We appreciate y'all so much. Shout us out. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Sir Daniel, we got a couple other topics we
sure do. It's so funny that Detroit is in the building because they got a whole doll battle going on in Detroit.
Yes.
But
which I was just like, what's happening?
We battling over dolls now?
Right.
Okay. But please, go ahead.
So upcoming. So in terms of this past Sunday, there was a concert that had a football game.
Yeah.
There was a concert that had a football game. Fortunately, Philadelphia Eagles won. I live in Chester, so shout out to the Eagles.
Shout out to the home team.
Yeah. But within, so that was one thing. But the big thing was the record-breaking halftime show by one Kendrick Lamar.
That wasn't record breaking. He wasn't more popular than Usher. That wasn't.
According to the numbers, y'all, I didn't make it up. I've only looked at the reporting. I don't know if all the reporting from reputable sources is wrong, but apparently it was a record-breaking halftime display. In addition, though, Sir Daniel, It was culturally relevant. That was the thing that I think for me was most important. My fear was, so here's my fear going in. I'm like, they done booked Kendrick Lamar for this halftime show, and he gonna have to not do what needs to be done. You know what I mean? Because that is what they will require. I was wrong. So when I guess it was the owner or the head of the NFL was like, Kendrick can do whatever he wants, they literally let that man kind of do whatever he wants. I'm like, oh, you really are doing this, and thank you for putting Black culture, Black men together on that field to speak to our experience. So that's a thing that happened this week.
It sure did. Let's see. Sunday was what? 5? No, this math. Sunday
Monday, was Tuesday, 4 days. Yeah,
4 days ago.
4 days
right?
ago. Mm-hmm.
4 days ago. People are still talking about it, Jerry.
That's when you know you hit. That's when you know you hit.
They are still talking, and people, not only are they still talking about it, but some people are a little butthurt over the fact that it took place. They're butthurt over the fact that it was Kendrick. First of all, they're salty because, of course, he did perform "They Not Like Us," which is a controversial song of the summer. They are, they're salty just because. Oh, they're salty because what did the young lady say from England? When I watch the halftime, I do not want to think. I want to be entertained. I don't want to think. I want to, and you know what?
Good for you.
Good for you. But you're gonna get knowledge. You're gonna get better.
You're gonna
knowledge.
get this word. You're gonna get better knowledge. You get with the people you need to get with.
And unfortunately, sis, that's what's gonna happen. That's what happened with the Kendrick Lamar show. I think that, and this will be the only time you hear us talk about it, because we're not gonna go on for weeks talking about this thing.
But you can invite us on to other platforms. If you want us to come on and wax poetic about, there's so much we could talk about, invite us on. We won't do that over here, but we'll come over to your platform. So if you want to have Q Points come over, let us know.
That's fair. I'm not arguing about who's the biggest star between Kendrick and Drake, because
I'm not having that conversation.
That's dead. I'll leave that to those other podcasts. And but what was I saying? It's just the idea. So yes, so the young lady was saying she doesn't want to think. We just want to, have a good show. And then there's this argument about whether or not that was the worst Super Bowl halftime performance ever, and that's being said by people on the right wing. Of course, Fox and Friends, they're going to say that because, well, there were a lot of it was culturally aware, and they can't stand when we do things that are culturally aware. And where we do things that are woke. Their favorite word, woke. They can't stand anything that's woke. And I had to sit back and think about, we see a cleansing already. This administration is already doing a cleansing of anything cultural or anything that would cause you to think or have any kind of critical thinking skills. Another scary word. They're being cleansed out. You see, the Kennedy Center is purging. People are leaving. Issa Rae is leaving. Somebody else publicly said that they're no longer.
Shonda Rhimes stepped down.
Shonda Rhimes, yes. So we're seeing things. We're seeing that people. There's going to be a very stark line. This is not an invisible line. This is not a scrimmage line. See, I gave y'all a football term. This is not a scrimmage. This is not imaginary. A real line is being drawn between people that want to exchange ideas and uphold history, teach history, exchange knowledge, and then there's the other half that wants to just completely control narratives,
Yes.
control information, and control thoughts. And so I think what this performance did on a grander scheme is it made that line very, very visible. And it just is like a starting point of more foolishness to come with the administration that we have in office now, and just the world, and just the world in general. Like, they're thinkers and they're non-thinkers.
Listen, Toni Morrison, there's the great Toni Morrison in 1975 did this talk at, I think, Portland State, I believe is where that talk took place. It gets sampled all the time. People are always pulling from that conversation. But one of the things she talked about was how when racism, when people want to take control, they start erasing your culture, right?
Yes.
Can't let you have it, because when you start being able to think, when you start being able to see, it creates imagination, right?
You have pride.
You have pride, and you suddenly, all of a sudden, you don't want to do what they want you to do, right? So I think we're definitely at that point. It is not surprising that what we're seeing happen, in particular with the Kennedy Center, is happening. What I think we must do, and what Kendrick was, to your point, really making sure that we know that we have to do, is we have to do this. We got to come here and do Q points every week.
Yes.
We have to. This is our work. We can't let this history go untold, because it will be erased. We are the people that hold the history. If we don't talk about it, the people that hold the history will pass on, and it will be, where's it going to be?
It's a battle between culture and corporation. And it just so happens that I saw a clip today that spoke to this conversation that we're having now. And it comes from somebody that I admired so much growing up. And even though, he's had a few hiccups in his career too, and some things that we chose not to speak about, or that have not been spoken about. But KRS-One was on with, what's my guy?
Be Real.
Be Real from Cypress Hill. And gave an anecdote of something that happened that speaks volumes to what we were talking about tonight. And we just want to run this clip for you because I think it drives the point home.
I agree. So y'all, this clip is long, but it's perfect. And it's Chris. So just check it out.
Master KRS-One.
You know what I mean? And we're going to come back and talk about it. Yeah.
That there's no way, there wasn't a better way that could have capsulized everything that is going on today. Whether it's Kendrick's performance, whether it's the battle between him and Drake, whether it's whether or not we have Black history or not, or we can say it out loud. There is a war on culture right now. Corporations are making it known that they are here to take over everything. But choices have to be made.
Yes.
Choices have to be made. Like intention, moving with intention has to be done.
Yes.
In order for culture to survive. And that's the bottom line. It's like we're going to see people, we're going to see who's real and who's not. We're going to see who's for the culture and who's not. We're going to see people that will, a term that's going to come back up is what we used to say back in the day. You're going to see who's a sellout and who's not.
Yep.
It's going to be so apparent.
Yep.
And the people that lead with money and saying how much money they have or flashing money, we can pretty much surmise that those are the ones that are on the side of corporate and corporations and not the culture.
Yeah. And the thing about this is, in full transparency, and I'm sure Sir Daniel would be cool with me just talking about this, like internal to Q Points, we've been having this conversation, right? Deciding where the line is, right? And when we literally just like 2 weeks ago said, we can't do that. That was what, like $5,000? We need that $5,000. Let's be very clear. Should we monetize here? Should we monetize here? We need this, right? To be able to keep doing what it is that we do. This is not a cheap thing to do, right? But it was like, and it was you, Sir Daniel, it was like, yeah, but we can't. And you were like, you're right, we can't. We cannot. We gotta make these choices, right? And so you're absolutely right, Sir Daniel. Like, it is going to become really, really apparent. And y'all, big and small, we have to decide who we are, like what we gonna do and what we not gonna do. And we gonna stand on we gonna stand on who we are.
So perfect place to bring this up, and I hope we don't get stung too bad by the Beehive, because the Beehive is buzzing. Are we seeing the Cowboy Carter concert series? The Chitlin Circuit Tour has been announced. Stop it! No, that's what it's called, the Chitlin Circuit.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Which I adore. I like the fact that it's called the Chitlin Circuit because it pays homage. But people are complaining about the prices. And, again, this is a business. There's a lot, and we probably could have a whole discussion about this alone, but it falls in line with what we're talking about. We know people are in the business to make money, but are these prices tone deaf? Eggs or concert tickets.
That's literally the choices we have to make nowadays.
Those choices we have to make now.
Choices we have to make. And
not saying that the artist is responsible for making those ticket prices. I don't know. I'm very curious if anybody has any insight to how ticket prices are calculated. We would love to hear about it.
It's a combination.
Okay, so it is a combination.
It's definitely a combination, because the team. If you are working at that level, there are people who work for you who do all of that stuff, right?
Okay.
I cannot imagine that she's in like a conference room where that conversation is happening. It's more just people get paid to make those decisions, right?
Yes.
I think the conversation that we're having is twofold. It's much like the conversation earlier at Sexyy Red. I want people to experience their joy, and I want people to have the best experiences possible. And you know what? We know that tour is going to be beautiful and amazing and all the things. I think the question is, to that point of, is this the time to do something like that? Right? Is this the time to do that? There could be a whole lot of ways to tour. There's a whole lot of ways to tour, right? And show up, right? But we are in a moment right now, and I ain't getting in nobody's pockets. If you can afford it and go, if you can afford it and go. But if you can't afford it, don't feel bad about not going.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I think we need to say to people is it's like, it's not a ding on you. You're not a failure because you can't go to the Chitlin Circuit tour, right? That's not it's a rough time, right? This is not an easy moment that we're in right now.
It's very rough. Not being able to attend the concert does not take away from your level of devotion and fanhood to this artist. Like J. Ray said, there are choices that have to be made, and in this life, you gotta make. You gotta
eat them eggs.
The eggs might sustain you just a little bit more than what's the name of the song? This ain't Texas.
Oh, Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em. It might sustain you just a little bit more than that. But I get it. We're not here to yuck anybody's yum.
Go in and laugh, child.
Do what you need to do. Find your joy. Find your peace. But please don't go into bankruptcy about it. Please don't.
Please don't.
Please don't. We want you to be smart about what you're doing. Handle your business. But yeah, so enjoy that. But you can always go to your favorite streaming service and you can look up a classic Spike Lee movie by the name of School Daze, and you can watch that for free. You can watch the Rays sing "I Don't Wanna Be Alone Tonight."
Yes.
You can be entertained in the comfort of your home and celebrate the 37th anniversary of Spike Lee's School Daze along with us. 37 years, J. Ray.
Woo! And 37 years, that film, so much of what we love about the culture today was really kind of birthed inside of School Daze, right?
Beychella.
Beychella was literally birthed from School Daze. So School Daze is in everything. And not only that, there are so many prominent performers that came out of that film. Jasmine Guy has often talked about, was like, that was a lot of our first movie. Like, we had not been in a movie before that. We were like stage kids, and all of a sudden we're in a film. So that movie is so groundbreaking. We talked about it during hip hop's 50th anniversary. We talked about the career of Spike Lee and how important Spike Lee has been to hip hop. So definitely go back and check out that show.
Samuel L. Jackson, that popped up in Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance, has a wonderful performance in School Daze. A lot of your faves, like J. Ray said, started off in School Daze or in a Spike Lee joint. But also remember, J. Ray, one of the underlying stories, one of the backstories of School Daze was there's a storyline about the school. What's the term? Because apartheid was a big story back then. This was in 87, 88. And so the school was benefiting from corporations that supported apartheid. And Lawrence Fishburne's character, divesting. Was protesting so that the school could divest from those backers so that they would not support apartheid. And that's 37 years ago.
And here we are.
Same issues are being brought up again. In School Daze is happening today. So it's like art. That's the thing about good art. No matter how old it gets, it still speaks to whatever's happening right now. And shout out to Viz in the chat. Sam Jackson played one of the Jerry Curl brothers at the KFC that was mad about them educated brothers coming up in their neighborhood talking all proper and stuff. And he was wearing the Jerry Curl cap in School Daze.
Shout out Samuel L. Jackson is literally, my God, he's been in everything.
He's a walking history book.
He is.
He is a walking history book.
And now he's been Uncle Sam. And apparently some people were saying that you shouldn't call him. No, he was being Uncle Tom. He was playing Uncle Tom, and then I saw something about we shouldn't use the term Uncle Tom. We should use the term Sambo when regarding to a black person that's less than honorable. That's a whole nother conversation. Lord Jesus.
Yes.
But yes, 37 years of School Daze. So yeah, go watch School. If you want to get a little entertainment, go ahead and watch School Daze. It's part drama, part musical.
Yes.
All black. It's Black History Month. You should just go ahead and watch it.
Good or bad hair, see if I care.
So, Sir Daniel, of course, tomorrow is a day. It is Valentine's Day tomorrow, Sir Daniel. And which is so interesting. It's been so much going on. It's crazy that it's Valentine's Day. But one of the things that, of course, happens on Valentine's Day is people, and so then you used to have a whole set where you just did your slow jam set, which was, of course, was mostly full of love songs.
Yes.
But this brings up a question. What are your favorites? And it don't have to be more than one, but do you have favorite hip hop love songs?
Yes. I believe this is the first hip hop love song. Of course, LL Cool J's "I Need Love."
Mm-hmm.
Right after that, for me, is "A Teenage Love" by
Teenage Love by Slick Rick is great.
"Don't Hurt Me Again." That's hot.
Yeah.
"Don't Hurt Me Again," and "Bonita Applebum."
Bonita Applebum is a great song. It's so sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what are favorite hip hop love songs? Of course, for me, "Silent Treatment" by The Roots is absolutely, I think, one of the most gorgeous slow jams. Period. I think "One Love" by Houdini.
Yes.
One Love by Houdini definitely does a thing.
Because you only get one love.
You only get one. One love. One love. All right, I'm not gonna do that. What else? Did I pick another Roots song? I can't pick another.
What do you think? What about Common?
Which one? Common has so many. But you know what? If I was gonna pick a Common love song, I do love "Love of My Life" with Erykah Badu. I think that's a great song. But there's also, I want to pick "You Got Me," actually. So I got two Roots songs.
Dope.
I want to pick "You Got Me." There are some. We don't give rappers enough credit.
Yes, I agree.
For "The Light," yes. "The Light" by Common. You consider "Poor Georgie"? Wait a minute, Vince, is it like you consider "Poor Georgie" a love song?
MC Lyte had quite a few soliloquies about love going wrong.
She did.
She did.
She
was dating crackheads in high school and
folks who are using alcohol, so
drug dealers, all of them. She's had a lot going on in her life.
Sidebar, wasn't in our last meeting that we talked about the fact that MC Lyte's storytelling is just some of my favorite. Cappuccino is just one of my favorite stories to hear.
Amazing. She's right up there.
And I ordered a cup. Some guy behind the back said shadows.
And I did. Pronto.
Quick fast.
She's up there with Slick Rick. The narration is such an important part of rap music. And shout out to those people that can entertain you and spin a tale at the same time.
Yes.
That takes a certain amount of skill. So shout out to MC Lyte for that. Shout out to Sam, Georgie, and all the
Roughneck is a love song.
And Roughneck, yes indeed.
It's a tacky love song. Listen to Roughneck now, and I'm like,
gotta get a what?
This young man has other problems.
Okay, the last part of this tangent that we're on. So people have caught on to the fact that MC Lyte made a song about messing around with a 17-year-old or a young man that about to turn 17. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one of those things that she kind of like, nobody listened back to that. But I saw a video, one of these young people found it, and they were like, excuse me, MC Lyte, you were talking about essaying somebody that's under 17? But yes, that's a story for another day. Go ahead.
How Do I Love Thee by Queen Latifah.
Dope. Yes, indeed.
How Do I Love Thee by Queen Latifah, which people do not give that song enough credit. It's a hip house joint. She's just kind of talking over it. Mm-hmm. It's very sensual. She made a video for that song.
I love that one as well. And yes, shout out to Viz again. Mahogany by Rakim. Yes. Also a dope ode to the opposite sex, which a lot of rappers do very well about. Mm-hmm. So listen, J-Ray, let's wrap it up real quick because I know we got to let the people go back to what they were doing. But yes, we got to thank everybody for tuning in.
Absolutely, y'all. If you can see our faces, if you can hear our voices, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to do us a solid, it is absolutely free. Share the show with your friends, family, colleagues. If you enjoy Q Points, chances are they will enjoy it as well. Visit our website at QPoints.com. There you can listen to our old episodes of the show. Check in with all the other stuff that we have going on, including checking out our blog at magazine.qpoints.com. And if you want to support the show, you can check out store.qpoints.com and you can get yourself some fresh merch. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
We sure do. And what do I always say in this life? You have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. Peace to the lie. Respect to the lie.
Okay,
respect to Hala.
We are not leaving until we talk about y'all. Okay, real quick.
That girl is a star. Shout out to old Niger. Old Niger is back home in these United States. She's already booked already. So that's peace to the lie, respect to the lie, and respect to Hala.
She's amazing, y'all. I'm like, that woman is not well, but I love her.
She is not well at all, but yes, indeed. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Q Points. We'll see you on the next go round. Peace to the lie.
Peace. Oh my God, let it go.